The kids are indeed all right at Liverpool as they embarrassed their city rivals in the FA Cup, winning by 1-0, thanks to a wonderful strike from Curtis Jones. Stevie, you must have enjoyed watching a very different Liverpool side, but once again it was the same story in a derby for them.
Yeah, I mean, the most enjoyable thing about watching this game was the way that Liverpool passed the ball around. You know, I don't think you can question the ability of any of the Liverpool players on that field. The movement was great. They're looking to go forward. You know, there's not too many sides, in my opinion. The first thing in their head is keeping the ball, which is not a bad thing, but either going sideways or backwards. Liverpool's first team don't do that. And we saw what the kids are like, and the kids are exactly the same. They have the same outlook, the same attitude, the same sort of commitment, not scared of hard work. So it was, from a football sense, absolutely a joy to watch.
Joe Gomez stepping into a kind of leadership role at the age of 22, harnessing the back line. Anyone else stand out for you? Anyone catch your eye? Minamino, of course, made his debut.
Yeah, clearly Jones with a goal. I think it's tough to turn around and pick one out because this really was about the collective. And as you said, Minamino, I think you saw the way he plays the game is exactly how you see the front three at Liverpool and the first team playing. You know, he's all action, he's all pace, he likes to close the ball down. You can see this kid wants to go forward. So he fits the mould, as actually you could say all the players on that field fit the mould of what's going on with Liverpool's first team. I really don't want to pick out individuals because you talk about a team effort against an experienced Everton side. I didn't expect this at all. I expected it, Everton, particularly in the second half, to do exactly what they did in the first because they were smart. They used their experience. They knew that Liverpool would come out with a bunch of kids. They'd be all action, you know, desire, willing to run around. And so Everton had a good spot, picked up a good position, broke on a few times, should have scored a couple of goals. So at half time, if I'm Ancelotti, I'm quite happy. You know, they used their experience. Liverpool didn't really create an awful lot. A lot of bluster, as I said, a lot of good possession, but nothing on the end of it. So Everton was sitting in a good spot at half time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they ripped the script up and didn't turn up. And as much as I'm talking about the first half was all about experience for Everton, the second half was about switching off and thinking that things are just going to happen the way they did in the first half. And they could never get to grips with the game and got completely outplayed football-wise for fun. And of course, the goal from Jones is really the icing on the cake from a football performance from the kids.
We've talked about Ancelotti. Know your feelings on him. You weren't quite convinced that he was the right man for this particular project at Everton. He must have now been given the guarantee that there is big money to spend, or at least he's going to be given time to turn this whole club around and refit them. There are a number of Everton players, senior pros in that team, that must now be looking over their shoulders and wondering if they were worried about their form with Ancelotti stepping into the club to start with. After a performance like that, insipid as it was in terms of being able to really fight back. I mean, they had the chances, anyone can miss chances, but not being able to take a grip in the second half. That must now signal the end for a number of those players, no?
Well, yes, would be the answer. Problem is, you've got too many. That's the real crux of the matter. You know, if I'm a manager going into a team struggling, clearly there are problems. But when you're looking at your starting 11, what it should be, and there's what, 7 of them that you can't rely on. 7. How do you go and get 7 players? You can't get it in one window.
And a balance sheet that's not favourable at all.
No, and then you have to get rid of players as well. You know, this is Ancelotti absolutely 100% has to have been guaranteed a certain amount of time. Because otherwise, I don't care who you are, you can't do this in a short space of time. Not with the amount of players Everton need to get rid of. Listen, Walcott's a great example. He's actually not long been at the club, but he's already shown why, over a decade, why he's not playing at the highest level. He has ability, no question, but he can't produce. Inconsistent. So when you have 6, 7, 8 maybe players like that, The only way it turns around is by getting them out the door. Now, good luck with that.
And this was really, just to summarise, an indication that the culture at Liverpool is alive and well, maybe in its most healthy for decades.
Oh, easily, no question.
All right, we'll see how far the talented youth of Liverpool can go. Of course, it all comes down to opportunities. They certainly took theirs in the latest Merseyside derby, and that's now 21 games that Everton have failed to beat Liverpool in. And the last time they won at Anfield, of course, going back to September 1999. Arguably, they won't ever have a better chance to change the script than they did on Sunday. They failed to do so.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.